Hello and welcome to the late night reviews. In this video we are going to review the OnePlus One phone. OnePlus One phone is manufactured by a Chinese company called OnePlus. To give you a little bit more information about the OnePlus One phone, it was first released by OnePlus company in 2014. In this video I will do my best to give you a decent review of the phone from hardware to software and everything in between. Without further ado, let's look at our agenda. I have broken down this video into 5 parts. First, we will talk about the look and feel of this product, which will cover the front screen of the phone, the back cover, the screen protector, tempered glass, the weight and the size of the phone, and some of the pros and cons. Then moving on into the second part, I will talk about the software, which will include the operating system, custom notifications, on-screen buttons, cameras, flashlight, volume, wireless printing, NFC, custom themes, gestures, battery usage, multiple user access, and many more. During the third part, I will talk about the hardware of the phone, which includes speakers, battery, processor, RAM, memory, SIM card, and much more. In the fourth part, I will talk about the pricing, while in the fifth part, I will talk about the shipping. That should conclude a pretty reasonable review, at least in my opinion. Well then, let us get started. OnePlus One has a very good look, not to mention it also feels just about right when holding it in your hands. What I mean by that is the phone is not too heavy and definitely not too small. Thus, the phone has got the curves. Moving on, let's talk about how well the buttons are placed on this phone. The power button is located to the right of the phone, while the volume rockers are located to the left of the phone. For a normal hand, upon holding the phone, you will realize that the power button corresponds naturally to your thumb. Right? This is also the case with the volume up and volume down button. It corresponds naturally to your index finger. With this phone, you won't be the victim of pushing the power button by accident. That's all for the placements of the buttons. Now let's talk about the front screen of this phone. I must say, the front screen of this phone is one of the things that makes me want to love this phone. This is definitely a plus if you're making a switch from Samsung, then you will definitely notice the screen. The text on this phone looks sharp, and keep in mind that this is a 1080p screen, so if you're looking for the ultra high resolution screen, then with the price range it simply is not possible. While we are at the topic of the screen, let's talk about the screen protectors. Now I personally would recommend you to go with tempered glass, mainly because it is an advancement over the regular screen protector. You can have the regular screen protector as there is nothing wrong with it. However, I personally would recommend you a tempered glass just to be on the safe side. At the end of the day, my advice to you would be do not go cheap on the phone. Alright, generally speaking, OnePlus have done an amazing job overall, but when it comes to the back cover, it really depends on your taste. If you like back smooth, then OnePlus by default doesn't have that, at least not with the one I got. However, there are other back covers available, so you might want to give that a try as a substitution. Camera. Alright, let's talk about the camera on this phone. OnePlus One has an amazing camera with 13 megapixels and 4K video recording. The camera has multiple modes, and for you to change a mode, all you have to do is put your finger at the top of the screen while the camera is on and move it down, which switches the mode. Just to name a few modes, it has auto mode, it has aqua mode, it has posterize, it has sepia, it has mono, it has steady photo, it has night, action, slow shutter, beauty mode, smart screen, clear image, and HDR. Moreover, you can also save the images as raw images. Now let's talk about the video recording. The video recording can go up to 4K, which is just awesome. It has a time-lapse feature which you can turn on and specify the time for the time-lapse. You can choose the video codec for MPEG-4 to H.264. There are also some additional features which you can set yourself, for example the power shutter, the volume zoom, the left-handed feature if you are left-handed, the bright screen. Again, this camera should serve your daily needs, or actually beyond your daily needs, that is if you know how to use a camera. Talking about the flashlight. Compared to Samsung's phone, this phone doesn't have a very good light, but nevertheless, it is good enough to serve your daily needs. Unlike the Samsung, you can't use this as a torch because it is not meant to be a torch. Moving on, if you have gestures enabled, all you have to do is draw a V sign on your screen while it is off and it will toggle the flashlight. To turn off the flashlight, draw a V sign again and it will turn off the flashlight. Now I find this very neat feature because instead of me having to power on the screen, unlocking the screen, then going to the toggle menu and clicking on the flashlight icon, I can just draw a V sign and here comes the flashlight. Quick response, and I like it. The volume on this phone is pretty good. I was under the impression that it had difficulties with volume, but the one I received was just flawless. I have been using it for 2 weeks non-stop and I have made at least 80 plus calls with it in the past 2 weeks. I myself did not face any issues at all. Now keep in mind, if you stay with the stock ROM, then everything in this phone is just gold. But if you're going to experiment on this phone, then make sure you have a complete backup before you do. That is, in the case where things go wrong, you're not happy with the new ROM, you can always just revert back. But nevertheless, the volume overall on this phone is a good quality and trust me, you will not be disappointed. Wireless printing. I'm the guy that loves writing ideas on documents and printing them off, even if I don't need them. There is nothing better than having the ability for wireless printing on this phone. It just makes the life 100% easier. So if you're the type of person that loves to print a lot of stuff, then this phone just might be your best friend. I would definitely recommend it from that perspective. Now, one of the neat feature about this phone that's apparently lacking in OnePlus 2 is the NFC. This is one of the important feature you can say to some rather than majority of the users. And in OnePlus One, NFC is in it to win it. One keynote here is do not, and I mean please do not root your device if you are interested in Android Pay or anything which you want to use, like for example tapping your card or debit or credit or whatever it is. Just don't root your phone, because the moment you root your phone, it's not going to work anymore. And the reason for that is that the security engineer at Google clearly explained that they use a special mechanism for Android Pay which takes into consideration the state of your phone. So if it's rooted, then you're basically out, right? Otherwise, it is expected to work, and on my phone, I definitely check that it works, the Android Pay, along with tapping my card. So because right now I have TD, and if I turn on my NFC, it actually works just fine. So that case of changing your DPI, changing that, changing this, and I'm pretty sure you have seen those people that tell you, oh, if your phone is rooted, all you have to do is change your DPI. Well, I have only one question for those guys. How's that working out for you? Yeah, I thought so. So it never works. Just don't root your phone. If you have it rooted, you're screwed. Custom themes. OnePlus One also comes with a theme manager which allows you to apply custom themes. It allows you to change the phone based on your taste, which is exactly what everyone wants. However, if you want the theme, which I have right here, it's not going to come with the default one. Right? This is not going to come with the default one. You just can't get that. Sorry. Right? You'll have to download the L launcher from Google Play, and then in there you can basically set the same theme that I have. Right? That allows you for a lot of customization, because the current theme manager that OnePlus has, that's basically like a stock version, right? And the thing with the L managers, it's more widely accepted. You can still stay with the default one if you like. I'll leave that up to you, to be honest. This phone, as I was talking, also comes with pretty amazing gestures. When your screen is off, this is what you can do. If you double tap on the phone, the screen turns on, right? You get to the lock screen. If you don't have a lock screen, then you just get to the home page. And you can also launch a camera. Just all you have to do is just draw a simple O, and it launches a camera, as you can see. Right. Also, one thing I showed you earlier, you can just draw a V, which turns on the flashlight, draw another V, which turns off the flashlight. You can furthermore put two fingers vertically to play or pause the music. You can draw left arrow for previous track or right arrow for next track. So the gestures really make it easy for me. Talking about the battery. This phone has a pretty impressive battery. I mean, for regular usage, this phone can easily last for, if you have it fully charged, can easily last for 2 to 3 days, right? That's based on my experience. And I realized that after 10 hours of using this phone, my battery dropped from 85% to 56%. So in 10 hours, it uses up 30% of the battery, which is pretty good, Again, that is with no heavy gaming. Just keep that in mind. So let's start off with the speaker. OnePlus One comes with two speakers, both of which are at the bottom of the phone. One is located at the left side while another is located at the right side. The speakers do make a pretty high sound, which is of course what we all want. While I'm talking about the speakers, let me also mention that this phone has not one, not two, but three microphones. That is just insane, and all three of them comes with noise cancellation. I mean, you can definitely expect Christopher Nolan to make a next movie titled The Dark Knight Rises Again with OnePlus. I mean, why not, right? It's a pretty good idea and good camera, so he might as well just use it. Saves him a lot of money, by the way. This phone has 3100 mAh battery. The battery, like I said before, can easily last up to 2 to 3 days for regular usage. Few tips: don't overcharge your battery. It's just not a good practice to overcharge your battery. Moreover, don't let it die either. Don't be one of those guys who are still playing games even on a 1% battery. Like, dude, let it go already and put it to charge for God's sake. Talking about the processor. OnePlus One comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor. Little bit history about the Snapdragon 801 processor. This processor supports up to 4K external display. It has a dual image signal processing with up to 21 megapixel. It also has Qualcomm quick charger integrated for up to 75% faster battery charging and all that cool stuff. To learn more about the processor in general, I will leave a link in the description. Overall, this is a stable processor and is a good match for this phone. Like I said, the hardware and the software is like a Romeo and Juliet. This phone comes with 3GB DDR3 RAM. I mean, no more of that 1GB or 1.5GB RAM or even 2GB RAM. They just decided to go insane with it and give you 3GB of RAM so you can really taste the beauty of this phone. This phone comes with a pre-built either 16GB or 64GB memory. The last time I checked, there was no 16GB phones available anymore, at least on the website. But that might be just for North America, who knows. By the way, just a note to the people who use their phone as their so-called personal computers. You guys do know it's a phone, right? I'm just putting it out there. Like, not a computer. Also, do take a note, if you live in North America, you need a nano SIM for this phone to work. Micro SIM doesn't work. Been there, done that. So let's talk about the pricing of this phone. Depending on where you live, the price might change, but let me quickly show you the chart, which will show you the prices for wherever you live. Being in North America, let's talk about it, shall we? I mean, what the phone has to offer, the mini is pretty good. I got mine for $412 Canadian, but in US it's even cheaper. So I would definitely say that it's worth the price. If you don't like the price because you think it's too high, you clearly haven't seen the iPhone 6 or Samsung S6, have you? Now, last but not least, let's talk about the shipping. So basically, to give you an overview, on Monday night I ordered this phone. The next day, the status updated from pending to processing. I came home from class and saw that they had provided me with a shipping number and said that it would arrive Thursday. Surprisingly, on Wednesday when I came home around 4 p.m., I saw that the phone has already arrived. Right? Seeing as the phone comes from USA, it basically arrived within 48 hours through DHL, and I must say I was pretty impressed by it. So initially it was like a brown box, and I was like, brown box, okay, come on OnePlus, you could have done a little bit better job. But then I opened up the box, and in the box there was another box. I opened that box, and inside there was another box. And by the time I was basically opening the third box, I realized this could be the next boxception. I mean, if you haven't watched Inception, you probably don't get that reference. But OnePlus One was clearly inspired by Inception, definitely. Alright guys, that is my review of the OnePlus One phone. If you have any questions and or comments, feel free to leave them below and I will try my best to get back to you guys. Enjoy your OnePlus One and have fun.